Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this video, I'm going to take a look at the best Hearthstone decks to climb the legend after the balance patch in May 2021. The balance patch included 5 nerfs and 10 buffs, but its effect on the meta has been limited. Most notably, Demon Hunter and Druid have become slightly better, Priest and Mage have become slightly weaker, and Paladin continues to be dominant, but the Paladin decks themselves have changed a little bit so that the slower variants are now preferred over the pure aggro lists. Likewise, compared to my last best decks video, I have dropped Priest and Mage from this best deck list. Both are still fine, the best decks of both are still capable of above 50% win rates, but they are slightly weaker now. I also contemplated adding Demon Hunter, but the Demon Hunter performance still seems a little bit lackluster, so that I would actually be able to recommend it. Even though Death Rattle Demon Hunter is now a deck that you can climb the ladder with. Druid, however, became just better enough to recommend it now. There are 8 decks that I can recommend at the moment, and coming in at number 8 is Clown Druid, or Primordial Druid as it's sometimes known. The classic Druid archetype. Ramp up, guardian animals to protect yourself, then clowns, primordial protectors, survival of the fittest, just big minions one after another. And now that the meta became a little bit weaker, especially thanks to a Crabrider nerf, that means that this sort of slightly slower Druid deck has just a tiny bit more time to breathe, and it's a little bit better now. It still faces stiff competition. Face Hunters, Token Druids, they're still too fast for it. But the number of decks that are too fast for it have gone down. Coming in at number 7 is Token Druid. Token Druid is still a little bit better than the slower Druid decks. It can just be explosive, get stuff on the board, go face. And now, again, Crabrider nerf for example, Token Druid is harder to keep off the board at the start of the game, and that means that Token Druid can snowball more often than it used to be able to do before the nerfs, and that makes it one of the best decks to climb with again. In position number 6 is Rush Warrior. Rush Warrior took a bit of a hit because that Crabrider nerf. Crabrider, usually you buff the Crabrider, then Crabrider with Wind Fury would just deal so much damage. And now Rush Warrior is a little bit slower. It's less capable of finishing those games. Rush Warrior always has had limited resources. It doesn't have a ton of resource generation, so you need to win the game with what you've got. And now that what you've got is a little bit weaker at finishing those games, that means that Rush Warrior has gone down a little bit. Still a fine deck, still a perfectly capable archetype, still one of the best decks to climb the legend, but no longer at the absolute top. Being killed a little bit slower has suited Rogue really well. Rogue has truly enjoyed this because Rogue doesn't have a very explosive opener, but Rogue has a really good mid-game. Miracle Rogue at number 5, AAECAZICAA's Golem Shaper, Chandy Sparrow, Shadowstep with Dose, Alexstrasza Lifebinder, get some discounts, Alexstrasza 10 Wu, 16 Burst. If Rogue survives the early game unscathed and gets to the mid-game and then to those turns like 5 to 10, Rogue can be really scary. Miracle Rogue isn't the best rogue at surviving though. The best rogue at surviving those early turns is Secret Rogue, because those rogue secrets can really mess up with the game plan of your opponent. Other than that, the game plan is still the same. AAECAZICAA, Chandy Sparrow, Shadowstep, Alexstrasza, Tenwu. The same win conditions, the same ways to deal damage, just with secrets in the mix this time. And that makes for even a slightly better rogue deck. Coming in at number 3 is Face Hunter, and not a single card has changed in the past few weeks. Face Hunter, it just keeps rolling with what it's got. Boom, boom, hunt faces. Hunting faces is still very strong. And with the current Face Hunter using piercing shots, using trampling rhinos, even if your opponent happens to get a minion on the board, that's usually bad for them, because then you just trample into it and deal even more damage to the face. And of course, Mankrik, Barak Codobane. Very strong combination. No other 3-cost spells in the deck, so you play Mankrik, you shuffle Ogre into the deck, you play Barak Codobane, you summon Mankrik Consumed by Hatred, that goes to the dome. 3-10, 3-7, stat line really doesn't matter for this specific archetype. So Face Hunter remains very powerful. However, when it comes to being really on the top, well, that's for Paladin. It doesn't even seem to matter what kind of Paladin deck you play, you can just put some stuff into your Paladin deck and play Paladin, you just win games. Of all the various Paladin archetypes, Aggro Paladin seems to be the weakest one right now. It took a bit of a hit with the Crabrider nerf. Secret Paladin is still fine. Secret Paladin is also very aggressive, but it has that secret package together with all the other stuff to support it, so it doesn't rely on Crabrider as much. There are even some newer ways to build this sort of slower mid-range style Paladin decks, like this Nesot Paladin that seems to be doing pretty well on the ladder right now. However, for the best Paladin experience, go with Secrets and Librams, and boom, Secret Libram Paladin. It used to take the backseat to Aggro Paladin and Secret Paladin. Those more aggressive Paladin decks were a little bit better, but now with those nerfs, first day of school, Crabrider nerf, it's harder for Paladin to be very explosive anymore, so this sort of slightly slower style is now better suited for the class. Even though the aggro variants are also still doing fine. So, the patch seems pretty big, 5 buffs, 10 nerfs, but its effect, couple of percentage points buff here, couple of percentage points nerf there, and Paladin didn't even lose any win rate. Some might say that this is madness, but this is Paladin Stone. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.